We live.
We live? Alright, I'm just gonna give it a minute so everybody can, so a few people can hop on.
I thought so too.
Let me know when comments are coming through. For your podcast.
Alright, no comments, but there's a couple hundred people.
Okay,
so.
rad. Hi everybody. So today I'm working on a freehand tattoo. I'm doing 2 sleeves on my client Matthew, and it's kind of an interesting project. One, because it's freehand, and everything I've done on him is freehand. So today is actually a hard subject, a hard image for me to draw. But I still am going to do it freehand so that the feeling of the sleeves go together. It really has a different feel entirely than stenciling. Stenciling does look a little bit stiff when I hold it next to my freehand work. So the subject matter is the 7 sins, and on the inside of his arm we're doing something about wrath. This is my reference. And sometimes I just, around my work, my shit's always really like deep and meaningful, and I kind of keep, like, we printed out a quote that I just want to keep around. It's a fitting punishment for a monster, to want something so much, to hold it in your arms, you know beyond a doubt, you will never deserve it. So it's kind of, I just kind of keep the meaning of the piece present while I'm drawing it, and
Can we
make sure
see the
that
outside? Or?
Yep, here's the outside. This is about the 7 sins. The woman is virtue herself, okay? And the light from a gothic window shining down on her. And then you've got 6 of the deadly sins trying to kind of like creep up on her. And then we're doing the 7th deadly sin, wrath, on the inside. The other sleeve is the opposite. It's the 7 virtues surrounding the... Yep, you can actually show the other sleeve. We've got the 7 virtues. This is sin himself. And then I've got 7 virtues trying to chain him. Sorry, the glare is probably bad. On the inside of his arm, we did the virtue of humility. So you've got someone in prayer, and you've got a child who, as a child, you're constantly a student of the universe. You're always learning. You have a lot to learn. So that's humility, and today we're doing wrath. And Tony is the camera woman, again. We've got Mikey tattooing over in the corner.
And answering that phone.
I think I forgot to put deodorant on, so I'm going to do that real quick for everybody's sake. I like Secret, but I bought Suave.
Hey, I think I bought that. I don't think you buy your own deodorant.
Camera away. Okay, well, you never want to stink when you're tattooing somebody. It's just mean.
I can't see. Oh, here we go. I'm trying to... Calgary tattoo.
Yeah, the convention.
Yeah, I think Megan's only gone to one.
They're invited me out to Calgary, and I'm considering it. It's a great show. I love Calgary. It's just also the same time when the Hartford convention is, and you know, I do like Hartford's my kind of my hometown. I love Tommy's Tattoo Supplies and stuff. I just haven't quite decided which show I want to go to yet, but you know, maybe. I like it out there. I think I'm moving out west, like, eventually, so I might need to come back to Connecticut to tattoo that weekend.
Guess who's here? Sam!
Sam Babcock?
Yeah!
Oh my god, Sam! I love you. You're totally my best friend. Someone was making fun of my Ed Hardy belt buckle that, like, your mom and you, like, gave me, like, years ago. And I was like, screw you, man. I was like, that thing, I will never get rid of that thing. I was like, my bud gave me that. Yeah, Sam is, like, I've been tattooing. He's, like, one of the first people I ever tattooed. So he's got some scars, but then he got some nice work too. Alright, so in the beginning my drawings don't look good. Yesterday some people told me I don't know how to draw and I should probably quit and kill myself. And I just want you all to know that I just block shapes in the beginning to try and figure out like where things should sit. So I'm trying, you know, I want her face to land close to the other thing I've already got going here.
So yesterday this drawing took probably about an hour for
Oh yeah, good point.
Wondering.
Yeah, people who are watching, and if you want to like dip in and out, you know, you can come back in half an hour and see some progress. It takes a little bit longer when I'm talking and doing these like Facebook Live things. But one of the things I do want to mention is that my client Matthew is, you know, he's a little bit darker. He's got more melatonin in his skin. And a lot of really good realism artists sometimes like shy away from darker skin. But it's nothing to be scared of. You just have to like open up your design a little bit more. You know, you like, actually, see how many ink caps I poured here? Or got ready to pour. I'm not gonna pour that many. When I work on darker skin, I reduce the amount of shades I use. So I'll just use a black, a medium gray, and a light gray. And that way, like, it forces me to keep my contrast really high. So you wanna simplify things a little bit. If you overwork it, overshade it, it's gonna look too dark and you won't really be able to see what's going on.
Hi, Rick. What? Oh, Inked magazine. Yeah. Tell me when Jake's on. I'll give him a shout out.
Oh, and like, you guys who are watching, let us know if you can't hear me. I mean, Tony's got the phone next to my mouth right now, so right now you can, but if the music's too loud, or if I have to tell, like, Mikey to keep it down or something, then just let us know. If you can hear me, great. Yeah, so first I draw kind of a pretty ugly hand. I usually, like, scratch it in there. Chin. You know, her eyes. Gotta make sure the angle of the face is up enough. I'm planning to have hair kind of swirling up and around my image up here. The image up here is going to be a smaller figurative image of someone cracking from the inside. Tony, you can read some of the comments.
It's everyone just saying hi.
Okay,
There's nothing,
cool.
like, no questions yet.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I like this because her face is really light, so I'm going to be able to put dark on either side of it, and it should be very like clear on his skin. There's not too much going on. The blood, I'm a little bit nervous about freehanding. That's tough.
Oh, someone asked about your markers.
The markers is always a really good question, you guys. A lot of people have a hard time getting their freehand stuff to stay while they're working on it. Can you guys just kind of keep, like, Mikey, when you're talking, can you just talk quietly? Because I don't want to feel like I'm yelling. It's already hard to talk while I'm drawing. Okay. Thanks. So I'm like super bitchy sometimes, but I don't mean to be. I'm just real straightforward, and like if you know me, you'll understand that I'm actually super like kind. I learned to communicate, you know, just efficiently. So when that's a problem for people, we have a problem. My friends would be laughing their asses off right now. But anyways, markers is a really good question, you guys. I draw with Sharpies, and I don't use the ones that come in the basic 9-pack or 12-pack, whatever those basic rainbow colors are. They seem to wash off easier. I order some of the weirder colors, and then I only wipe with water while I'm laying my design in. And once I've got my design laid in, I purposely wash them off with soap because then my creativity is allowed to really flow. Once I'm like no longer stuck, I can just sort of see how things are smudging and looking cool.
Someone asked about what kind of needles do you use. Someone asked what kind of black and gray mix you do.
Okay.
Why do you like black and gray freehand versus stencil?
Okay. Well, needles, you know, I use 2 different types of cartridges that I like. Cheyennes are my standby, honestly. Peak had me try their product, and I really, really did like it. I would recommend Peak needles to anybody looking for a needle to use. I guess I just, I like the color coding with Cheyennes, and just extremely consistent. I've just never had any sort of problem. I use cartridges for my realism, and I like to be able to rinse I just get annoyed if any cartridge like holds the ink in it too long, so it takes me too long to like switch colors. I just stand there forever rinsing my machine out. I don't like that. Then my black and gray, I make my own drop system.
I gotta be right back.
Can you just give it to Rick? Who's out there?
Food?
Oh, can you give it to Rick?
No, because Rick's tattooing. I gotta pay this guy.
Okay. Hang on, guys. We'll be right back. Tony has to go pay the food guy.
Can I have some money?
We order lunch here. Man, it is hot in here, isn't it?
Feels good.
Feels warm. It's too hot. Yeah, you are probably. Hang on 1 second, guys. I have to wait for Tony to come back.
Did you answer any other questions or did you forget them?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so how long do you think this is gonna take? Are you planning on doing the whole?
Yeah, we're gonna do the whole inside today, and the drawing takes me about an hour, which honestly, building a stencil takes an hour anyways, because it's fucking tedious, like, tracing something. But the drawing will take me a minute, but when I tattoo, my freehand moves a lot faster than my stencil work, because I'm not turning my face every second to make sure that, I've got this exactly like it is in the photo. It's kind of just you're using your own decision-making process as an artist and being like, well, this looks good, this looks cool, oh, I'll go over here and do this. So, like, you save a lot of time because you're not just looking back and forth at a stencil the whole time. So, tattooing the inside of his arm. Also, on darker skin, things do move along faster because you don't have to shade as much. You want to leave a lot of skin tone. So, I don't know. What did we do the other side? Probably 8 to 10 hours.
Did you do 2 days or 3 days?
On the inside.
On the inside of this one?
Yeah, that wasn't 12.
No, it was about 8 hours.
Yeah. The other side, on the whole inside of his arm, was 8 hours of tattooing. Yeah, the outside of my sleeves. When I do the 2-day or 3-day sleeves, the outside is going to take about 12 hours, and sometimes 14. And the inside generally takes about 8, sometimes 10.
And then, just quickly, one more time, just, people are wondering why you wouldn't rather stencil.
Stenciling's cool. You can do either one. It has a different feel to it when you're done. I like both. I think that something I really like about freehand is that there's a few things I really like about it. One, when you're done, it feels like your artwork, very specifically. no one else in the world could make it even similar, because you drew it with your own hand. It changes it a lot. Whereas if someone else is doing this reference, you know, and then another artist is doing this reference and they stencil it, a lot of times it actually gets hard to tell, like, okay, who did that? You know, cool, but like, whose is it? Whereas with freehand, almost right away you can be like, well, that's obviously Luke Palin, or that's obviously Carl Grace, or that's obviously Megan Jean. Like, you can tell which freehand artist did it. Or Gabriel Tennyson, he's another one, you know, that takes the time to freehand. So I like that. And then another thing about it is it just has an incredible amount of flow to it, because your hand and eyes are drawing on that canvas. They're going to move with that canvas. It's not designed for a flat piece of paper that then warps in weird ways as I try to wrap it around an arm, you know? So it's just designed perfectly for that spot. And then this piece today, you know, it is a scary piece to try and freehand, but I freehanded the rest of his 2 sleeves, and it would look dramatically different if I tried to stencil this in here today. It would look stiff and timid compared to the work that's around it.
Are you gonna show how you mix your black and gray?
You know what?
Today,
I thought
probably?
about showing. Oh yeah, because I didn't pour it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll
Yeah,
show
so
that.
whoever asked about black and gray, we'll show Megan mixing hers.
Yeah, we will. We'll do that. I haven't poured it yet. I'll show that at the end of drawing, I guess. Because then we'll probably turn the live feed off until the end of the day when I'm basically closer to done with the tattoo. I don't know, Tone, what do you think?
Yeah, probably.
Because I think it's weird to like keep it going like while I'm eating lunch and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I'm starting to like the eyes, you know, they're not quite right, but they're like sort of in the right spot. I'll draw, and like if shit's not right, then I go find an area that I'm like, okay, the side of her face, you know, I can tell her eye needs to be close to the side of her face. Like I find some little area that I'm comfortable going off of.
So what we were saying yesterday too is that Megan will use 3 different Sharpies. So this one is like one to just block everything in, and then
Yeah.
she'll go in with a darker gray and then dark blue, for anyone that was wondering.
Yeah, this part doesn't have to look good. I'm literally just trying to get things in the right spot. Get them kind of the right size. And, you know, you kind of want to just do this part quickly, because if it's not in the right spot, you don't want to waste all your time developing it, and then you back up and you don't like where you've got it. You got to erase it and draw the whole thing again. Alright, Tone, if you want, you can set the phone up so that people, yeah, but all of that needs to come over here. Yeah, it should be pretty good, huh? And then pull it out so it's like right over it. We're trying to get the phone set up for you guys so that you can just watch the drawing part. Turn that down to the lowest. Inked Magazine gave me a bunch of cool equipment so that I can just do this live thing from my shop. Inked Mag is just seriously one of the best. They've really supported me throughout a lot of my career. Sammy kind of like found me in Philadelphia a few years ago, and I guess he's, you know, just saw something in me and gave me a feature in Freshly Inked. Too bright. Whatever looks good on the screen.
That was the lowest, so I think I'm just gonna...
Well, then just keep it, just point it lower so it's not in my face. Yeah, because it's probably good for the screen, you know? Yeah, that's great. So yeah, Sammy kind of like gave me a feature in in Freshly Inked, and that was amazing because, you know, that kind of like was a magazine that just highlighted a lot of up and coming artists, and I'm just lucky that they have been interested in watching me develop as an artist and supporting me. So I can't see the comments now, so if you guys want to watch and listen, feel free, but Tony is going to go do some other work. I'm just going to develop this drawing for a while. This hand feels real swooshy right now. I'm going to change that before I finish. I don't like swooshy feeling hands. Hands should be real geometrical and have knuckles that work, not like rubber pasta bendy sections. So, kind of just blocking it in, but we'll fix that later. And then I'm going to use her hair. I'm going to have her hair swirl up to the top part of his arm. And some right across her face probably. And I'm going to use that as a little bit of a context for the, little bit of like a border for the, or frame, I guess is the word I'm looking for this like silhouetted sort of figure I want to put up top here, over here. And again, like this drawing's not done. I'm kind of just, I'm just blocking things in right now, making sure I like where I got things. I have to work off of what I've done before. I've got this little hand here, so I have to be careful, design around that. Now I'm drawing from this reference. Just cupping her head in her hands. Neck. Head's exploding. These painty, squiggly things. There. So compositionally, I'm just gonna back up and see if I like how that feels. I think it's pretty rad. Big thing at the bottom, little thing up top. I have everything facing out. The two images are facing out, so when he goes to show people the inside of his arm, you see the interesting part, because the stuff that gets tucked into the back you don't really see as well. Okay, so the next part is a little bit harder. I have to make it look good. And I'm going to have to come up with some sort of filler for down bottom here. In the picture it's just her shoulder, but that doesn't read on a wrist wrapping around. So I'm going to grab the next darker shade, and I'm going to start actually carefully looking at my reference. You don't have to freehand with a reference, but you get different results. If you don't use a reference, you're pretty much always going to draw the same thing. So, you know, freehand artists that don't use reference, it's cool because you can recognize their stuff super easily, but you will notice that it's always like the same thing. It's the same skull or the same demon head or the same monster, you know, or the same girl face. It's just if you don't use the reference, you end up drawing the same figure, the one that your brain has memorized. So now I'm looking to make sure that I've got the right space between things. This marker is just a little bit darker. You don't want to go too dark with your markers because you won't be able to see your little light tattoo lines that you're going to lay in. You know, when I do the bottom of these noses, which it's a view that I actually like quite a bit, you definitely want it to feel upturned. But I always get a little concerned that I'm going to make like a little piggy nose. So kind of want to just make sure you're capturing all of the shapes in the nose. Sometimes I get started with this medium marker and I feel like just jumping into a darker marker if I'm feeling good about how things are going. I think I could do that today, at least on this section. On the hand, I'm less secure about it. I might use this medium marker, but for now I'm going to go to a darker marker. Get some confidence in here. Just capturing the nose. I'm a big drawer. I draw large. So a lot of times when I'm refining my drawings, I realize that I have to like make things smaller that I drew too big. But I move my hand a lot and keep it loose, and that tends to make it like get too big too fast. But it's better than drawing up tight. I'd rather tighten things up, because if you start out loose, the artwork's gonna have a cool feel to it. And sometimes I'll even, if I want, if I want to remember shading or make sure I have the right shape, I'll just smudge my markers with, I'll lay in a dark marker like I just did, and then I'll develop some shape by smudging it with a lighter marker. See how that works. And I do freehand because I think it looks cool. When I'm done, sometimes I see the tattoo healed, and I can't believe I drew it. You know, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I drew that? Because it always is intimidating at first. It's definitely intimidating, but in the end, it's something that I can be proud of because I made it myself, you know. My client, it's exciting for both of us. Usually if I'm nervous about something, it's actually a good thing. It means I'm really like alive as an artist. I'm not just, pooping out some sort of formula that I figured out a long time ago. So it keeps me on edge and really interested in the project. Yeah, so see, I'm fixing a lot of my ratios right now. It looks weird for what I have drawn here. I'm gonna have to move the eyes over a lot, but now that I'm like looking carefully at my reference, I just realized that that was way off. So I should be using my medium marker, because then when I correct it, it's just less messy later. Pupil in here, highlight. Matthew's a really good client. He just sits here quietly and not annoying. It's nice. So as an artist, you have a lot going on. It looks like you're just drawing, but really you've got like a lot of thoughts you're trying to figure out and things you're trying to picture while you're putting it together. And now I got you guys, which is just one more thing I have to think about. So I just appreciate when people kind of just give their body part over to me. It's really cool. There, see that little eye and nose is looking good. So it's like, okay, I've kind of got the right ratio here, which means I can trust it and I can build off of it. and it's a little bit further to the right than it was, which is good because it's going to give me more room for her bottom finger. I don't know if you guys can see my reference. Yeah, you can. So sometimes I just jump over and check my reference for space. Now this eye I have to move. Move to the right. This is me just lining the pupils up, getting them at the same angle. This gray marker is not quite as easy to see as I'd like, but I find that if I just stick with it and use it, and later when I'm cleaning it up with a dark marker, it's nice because it doesn't get in the way and make a mess. So I'm going to get the eyebrow in the right spot and the eye socket in the right spot, and then I'll darken it up. Trying to keep this angle here, because as we... Alright, I think this is still working. Hey Tom, can you just make sure that the like, I got a phone call, I don't know if that interrupts the live feed or anything. Yeah. I like can't touch a bunch of stuff. Okay, yeah, it's working. Oh, it's so hot in here. Okay, yeah, it's working.
Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, that's actually like pretty perfect.
How it's looking? I mean, how it's catching in there?
Mhm.
Yeah, perfect.
It's like, it sucks that the live videos are always just like kind of blurry.
They're blurry?
Yeah, like all of them. Like on your screen it looks clear, but see, on my screen it looks like kind of blurry.
That does suck.
Okay, this is annoying.
Yeah, hearing what you just said. I was looking slightly up at the face, so I want to try and capture that angle. So did you guys try that unicorn drink from Starbucks yesterday? I love unicorns, you guys. I can't even tell you. Like, when I was a little girl, I just dreamed about them and wished I had one so bad. Fly away on. Mikey! It's true. I kind of do like that, like, sparkly, magical, girly stuff, even though I was a tomboy, for sure. Secretly, I actually had Barbie dolls, I just didn't keep them out. I played with them a lot. Where I grew up, it wasn't, like, cool to be girly, at least I didn't think so. I grew up in the woods, you know, so my friends were all guys, and had to, you know, just tried to be tough and hang out with the guys, really. Yeah, I think that's starting to feel cool. I like really hairy eyebrows. I have really big hairy eyebrows. The nose of my drawing comes down a little bit more over here, so we'll see. See if we like that later. Just gonna blend that out a little bit. I'm gonna start building in my own light source because my my reference doesn't have a very strong light source. I guess it's going to be coming down from the top, so shade in the bottom of her nose here. Start to give her like a little bit of a lip. Now the lips are tough because there's blood on here, which really confuses the shape of things. Always give your faces a really strong bridge on their nose. That's really important. My client's snoring. Oh my god, that's so funny. Getting drawn on is like the most relaxing thing in the world. So people fall asleep at this part. A lot of my clients, you know, they're hard workers and they come here and they get a day to themselves, so fall asleep sometimes. Get her mouth in here to line that up. If you're not sure where to put stuff, just look at your drawing and see what it lines up with, and then make sure it lines up with that on your drawing. See, I made the mouth too big. I do that. I pretty much make everything too big the first time I draw it. How far down from that nose? About here.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm just gonna mark the edge of the lips in there. And this is gonna be blood. Blood. The blood I'm not gonna draw too much because I'm just gonna like, it's gonna look kind of crappy and I'll just tattoo it. Develop it while I'm tattooing it. Just want to make sure I got the lips and stuff in the right spot. So bottom lip. Here. These teeth are pretty red. Thanks, Rick. Rick's making sure I'm doing it right. Mikey's mad. I told him to be quiet earlier.
I heard it. I cracked up.
He was super loud.
He's always loud. It can't all be like me.
Oh my god.
They can only get better from there.
I'm excited about this piece.
Yeah, this is an exciting piece. A lot of fun stuff happening here. There. So, little bits in. Alright. So this part always feels like I'm working hard. I'm like, why wouldn't I just stencil this part? But, you know, it is a little bit of hard work. But in the end, I have a product that looks really cool to me, looks really different than anyone who else, you know, uses the same reference, which today, like, we all have access to the same references, so sometimes it's nice to kind of make it unique, and freehand is one way to do that. And when it comes to tattooing it, it takes less time, so it is a little bit more work up front, but when I'm tattooing, it goes faster, and it's more fun, because I don't have to like look at a stencil every 2 seconds and make sure I'm doing something, you know, exactly the way it is. I can just look and be like, thinking that it looks cool to me. Alright, so here I should start using my medium marker again. But this is it's definitely having the correct feel to it at this point. Her nose a little bigger, so her eye gets a little smaller. There. Okay. Now these are, you can see I'm making the fingers more angular. You definitely want to have, like, I think of them as like rectangles, you know? Like, you have your like 3 metacarpals or whatever they're called. But there's 3 of them. And my knuckles, I always pop them right out.
Would you line that one? Really?
Yeah, right.
Dang.
Maybe, we'll see.
How's it looking, Tone?
Looks good.
Okay. This other finger in there.
Hey, check out this little banger real quick.
Let's see. So Mikey just did awesome Wu-Tang symbol. Damn, that looks great. That's fucking rad. Looks traditional. Like, did you make it that way? That's super awesome. Yeah, clean. Looks really good. We love traditional around here.
Me too.
Like, a lot of us at my shop do realism, but we love traditional. So the drawing part on the inside here, this is going to be the most time consuming, you know, because it's a face and a hand. You really have to nail it and get it right.
You said you started running.
The drawing part will take me about an hour total.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
So I kind of, I wanted this image on the outside of the inside of his arm so that people can see it. And I ran out of room for this finger because I'm bumped up against the arm here of one of the 7 sins. And so I'm going to try and, make up a finger to go over there. I just have to picture how that one would bend, Try and do something that would make sense, like picture if that were bent and on the back of her face, pushed up against her face just behind this finger. And that again, like people ask why freehand, why not stencil? Well, literally I just, it's a great example because the stencil isn't designed for this part of his arm. It's not designed to be a tattoo. It's designed to look good by itself as an image on a flat piece of paper. So when you're freehanding, you just open yourself up to a lot of freedom to just do what looks best and change things that you need to change. Okay, so it's starting to look good to me. Good enough where I can start darkening it. There.
Like, that's why I feed my cat when she doesn't feel good.
That.
Hopefully he comes back.
And that.
Going through the bank.
Knuckles here.
Yo.
Got a knuckle here.
Fish terrible.
I was like actually so pumped when Megan was like, "You guys saw Flyer?" I was like, we're not tall at all."
That's my client snoring. He's gonna be so mad I didn't wake him up. But you snooze, you lose. So I am just trying to make up this finger on the side here in a way that is believable. It's not the focal point, so I can kind of get away with some stuff. But when you're drawing a hand, you should always use a reference. I learned that from Llewellyn, who learned it from Michael Husser. He said to always use a reference. Don't snore.
Oh, snoring?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just woke my client up, told him to stop
Oh,
snoring.
snore? Oh, wow.
It's good, it's good. No one cares. It's funny. I told him, like, nothing's more relaxing than just laying down and being drawn on. Man, it's hot in here. That's why you fell asleep.
It feels good.
Yeah. There. It's a little funny looking, so I'll line some knuckles up better. I think we're gonna have to go here. So I'm just gonna change this finger that I'm trying to fudge a little bit. When I want to wipe my Sharpies off, I just use alcohol. But I gotta use that the highest one, 99% alcohol. That looks good. That looks good till that point, and then I think right in here, start to lose it like that, like that. There we go. Sort of liking that, and sometimes if I don't get it exactly, I just leave it alone for a while. I know the bottom of the hand needs to be shaded because of my light source. I'll just start laying some shaded. If you can't figure out how to draw something with a line, just start drawing it with shapes. Because sometimes lines look funny until you've got the shading in there. This one goes down further. I haven't figured out the backside, how far back I want to bring this, but it drops to an area of his arm that you don't even see, so at some point it won't be.
Is that the demon? No.
Rick, I think it looked really nice.
Let me see.
Oh, these little clothes are cute. You gotta post this. This is like an Eric style.
Yeah, I can't wait to close that. I'm so hyped on it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it looks so good, Mikey.
Yeah, you do work for good school tattoos, so.
I love the people here at my shop. Hey, Tone. Do you think thousands of people can hear you?
I'm gonna start holding up signs.
Very cool. So that feels pretty good. This eye is a little bit too close to the nose.
Meg, you're in trouble.
Oh, poop.
Is my phone dead?
No.
Is it dying?
Yes.
Okay. Can you open the back door? It's like so
Yeah.
hot in here.
I turned the heat off. I'm comfortable, but it is pretty warm in here,
I'm
especially
fucking-
with
I'm
this like
dying.
When you take a break, I'll show you. Just bring it to me. My back hurts. Let me rest.
an old man once told me, if you rest, you rust.
Move it, Larry.
Did you guys hear Tony's
That was an old
wisdom?
man friend.
An old man once told me, if you rest, you rust.
If you heard Megan telling me to shut up.
She did. What did she say about it?
like, nuh-uh.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
you to shut up?
That's so
Is she
funny.
watching right now?
I feel
Ask
like,
her. I'm gonna
because
make
Mikey,
her.
you and your clients are always so talkative.
Meg, that's what I talk to my clients.
I talk to my clients too, but you guys are so
Yeah,
loud.
you talk to your fans. Their face looks awesome.
The face is working, huh? Starting to,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Is she watching?
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna call her.
Mikey's wife heard me tell him to shut up.
But I made her poop.
She's Spanish. She's gonna
well, let me
fight
call
with
her.
me. Alright, so starting to just scratching some bloodiness here on her chin.
Tony said to watch this video. Yeah, so watching that.
Wait. I need to draw something. Everything I can draw. Big eyebrows. And big ears. He's got that thing.
Studio Z.
Okay, so
I just made this
Cynthia is Mikey's wife, and
because it has that thing.
these guys are having a lot of fun with this Facebook Live stuff.
And then I did this to the camera.
She made a crying face. She made the crying face on the chat.
Good.
Hilarious. We think we're pretty funny here, but no one else ever seems to.
What? People are LOLing us left and right.
Oh man. To kind of get our sense of humor, I guess. We mostly just make fun of each other.
I don't know, man. That face definitely needs a mustache.
Mostly they make fun of me.
Curly mustache.
Well, Meg, it's not hard.
I'm like within easy. Ooh, burn. I'm like
Flame emoji.
the worst. I'm a big dork.
Hey, lovely work. Cynthia.
Alright, stop reading your wife's comments.
What? I love my wife. I love my wife. It's great. What's that say? She is awesome.
So I'm actually standing while I draw this because if I sit down and draw the whole thing, which I just sat down to take a break, but if because of the angle, it'll like mess it up, you know? I'll stand up and it'll be like too long because I drew it from like a low
Cynthia,
vantage
yeah,
point.
you better.
Right, there's that. So with freehand, you know, you don't have to have like every little thing in there. You just want to make sure that the hard stuff is really figured out and is really correct. I don't like to fill in big spots with a super dark marker because it just gets real confusing. So medium dark there. And then I gotta work on the blood on the hands, so have some blood come here.
I'm gonna hold this for a couple seconds. Mostly because I just told Kim and Todd that we were live.
So you want to look cool for your friends, but it's new.
Well, I only have the two of them.
Tony only has 2 friends.
It's really hard for me, okay?
Because she doesn't like anybody.
Yeah.
She's so lonely.
Hey, there's a few people in my life that are all just me. Just different versions of me.
Wait, Gordon and Ruby.
My cats.
Tony's got 2 people she hangs out with, 2 animals she hangs out with. So I'm hoping the blood will help me describe the shape of this hand. Hands are tricky, and this one's definitely in a tricky position.
Oh, sorry guys. This is a weird angle for
You
me.
can just move this thing if you want.
Let me, See, it's in this tight corner.
You can just pick it up and move it out to the
Just put it
doorway.
outside.
Yep.
Ugh.
Gosh.
Just sucks because we gotta charge.
Oh yeah. Is the phone charging or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh look, people are saying they'll be my friend. Thanks, guys. But it's okay, I only have the 2.
She won't like you anyways. She sounds so nice, but she's like the meanest little pipsqueak. She's gotten nicer now that she does yoga. She found an outlet for her little pipsqueak rage.
Stop telling my whole life, Meg. I don't know these people. Oh, Todd's here. Hi, Todd.
What's up, hipster?
Whoop, Todd's gonna hate me. So now I only have the one friend.
So our friend Todd is like this like tough like biker mechanic guy, but like we pointed out the other day that he's actually got a lot of like hipster going on with that
He's a bodywork guy, not a mechanic. Todd, I'm
Beard-
sorry for these rude
beard of
women.
his.
Todd. I said that Todd and Kim were my only 2 friends, but then Megan called him a hipster, so I said, well, now I only have the one.
I had 2 friends.
Bye, Janelle.
Okay, so that, and then I'll go dark here, dark here. Part of drawing, what's hard is not doing it the way you think it should go, and just looking at it and doing it the way it is. And at first, when you start doing that, you end up correcting what you have drawn, and so it starts fucking up the whole drawing. You have to just trust it and keep doing it, and keep changing things until it is accurate. That is actually starting to feel better for the hand.
Can you back up so my crotch is not in this guy's face?
Yeah.
So let's see, this actually goes, let's come here. And like, you know, what drawing is pretty much just fixing mistakes, fixing mistakes until it looks good. So you kind of block in your shades and you never get it right the first time, and then you just keep looking at things and comparing it to the other shapes, and eventually you've got something that looks, that's how you draw realism anyways, you know. When it's not realism, you can kind of get away with some more interpretation. There. I like how I'm starting to feel like I have different planes on this hand, you know? Is Tony making notes?
I was folding some clothes.
It doesn't sound like folding clothes, Tone.
Look it.
I'm pretty sure Tony's getting ready to communicate with some of you guys out there.
No, I'm not. I have 0 notes. Look at me.
You're
No
folding
less.
clothes?
I was folding these.
What are those for Rick?
No, they're for me. Look at these pants.
For my daughters.
Cool. So anyways, I'm gonna get into her hair. I like a lot of this. With hair, especially with freehand, that's a fun time to just loosen things up and make sure you've got, I think I want this to feel like it's going up and away, you know? If you want to cut something across some of the big, more open surfaces, here's the chance to do it. Bring some blood down on her neck here. There.
When I was little, like, this was the only, like, shadow puppet I could do.
You're lame.
And I would just be like,
I got the crocodile in my wheelhouse.
Are you guys making shadow puppets?
no. I was just doing this.
Because this is wrath, I want it to feel...
Well,
A
not
little
real
out of control.
freehand if you draw it on first.
That is freehand, guys.
That is freehand. If you don't draw it on first, it's called gracing. Who doesn't know that?
Apparently Nathan
Oh,
Frolic.
Kim's on. Hi, Kim. My only friend.
Megan, Northern Ontario loves you and your work. Nunez needs his head read.
You're an idiot. Aw, Corbin. That was mean.
He's calling me an idiot?
I don't know.
No,
Someone's an
so.
idiot.
He spelled idiot wrong though.
Oh, shit. Nice try, Corbin.
Spell check, homie.
Alright, so now I'm getting
Peter.
up top.
Peter.
Perfect.
Peter. ¿Qué es todo esa lora? Póngase.
There's Kim.
Yay! Wave emoji. I love lamp. Do you really love the lamp? Or you just saying that?
I
See,
love
like,
that
yesterday,
quote.
that's all I wanted to read was just, like, the funny stuff that people... Someone just wrote, like, hippo. And I was like, nah, maybe this should be more serious. I don't know where we're going with this.
Freehand is anything that doesn't involve using stencil paper.
So this part, you know, I've just got... Use it as a chance to make it three-dimensional. Add flow, put some shit that goes in front of some other shit.
I'm surprised that no
It's
one
high-tech.
commented on, like, where's the weed leaf? 420.
420 boys.
Alright, now let's figure up
Megan's
top.
wearing green.
I'm wearing a Sullen tank top, actually. Can you see it? I love these. Like, Sullen just came out with, like, a bunch of really basic stuff, and I like really basic stuff. So, there's, like, a t-shirt and a tank top. I had my inked mag, like, sweatshirt on, but it's, like, 80 degrees in my shop today.
It's hot. It's hot in here.
Guys, I was chilly this morning. Cut me some slack.
Slack!
Really screwed the pooch up.
Oh, Toad. You really screwed the pooch on that
What
one.
was that?
Means you fucked a dog this morning, Mikey.
Should probably stop saying that in a workplace environment.
Anyone?
Yeah, no comments from the crowd on this one?
First person to know where that reference is from gets a like.
Sick.
And I'll show you a
Gets
pair
nothing.
of tattoo boobs.
Yeah, we've got boobs on his other arm. Oh yeah, they're on this arm.
Oh, people are mad facing.
What are they mad facing?
I don't know. Maybe
Go back to Blondie.
Meg, we may or may not have super zoomed in on your boobs. Only.
I just got a bonner.
Oh my god! What the
Michael
fuck?
J. Yeah! Woo!
Like it.
Yes!
Yes,
Mikey Dixon.
Mikey Dixon, you're the
Bruh.
best.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Meg, we
Mikey
may
Dixon
or may
for
not have.
Meg, what needle sizes do you have set up?
My general setup is always a 9-round shader, a 5-liner, a 5 flat mag, so nice tight corners, a 9 flat mag, also for nice tight corners, and then a 17 curved mag for like smooth, big shading. And when I'm doing black and gray realism like this, the needles are 10s. They're bug pins.
Michael J.
Close enough.
It's nice with you guys reading the comments because I think it's more interesting for everybody. Alright, so again, I'm just
Nah.
getting her. Nah.
We were answering the question. What is that?
I would go get my visa just to travel for you to tap me up. just to see your adorable self. Wow, you're looking good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do try.
Who? This? This looks good. Looks good. That bottom. Leak. You want to see Mikey's shirt that he's wearing?
I work for NASA.
So gross.
Gross.
Like.
Lonnie. Oh, Lonnie, you're gross.
Oh.
Alright, not me.
Darn.
Darn.
We're not answering any questions about pricing.
Yeah, you can email.
Well-
You can email for pricing stuff, guys.
Yeah, it's just not
He's
really.
having a baby. Yes, I am.
Pricing
Two of
is,
them.
you know, it just varies a lot between artists, and it's different depending where I am, if I'm traveling or if I'm at my shop. And it's kind of an etiquette thing, you know. If you're seriously interested in a tattoo, just email Tony and she'll get back to you. Let you know what you can expect.
We're located in Wallingford, Connecticut.
Oh, show the inks and Eternal Ink. And then, Meg, what kind of machine do you use?
I use FK irons, and I use their rotary machines. Right now, I really am a big fan of the Edge. I also have a Direct. And
Oh, true. Meg, someone said you needed a cowboy hat. Like.
I fucking definitely need a cowboy hat. I need to move out west and get a cowboy, actually, to go with a hat and some shoes. Yeah, I got cowboy boots. I do need a hat. On the East Coast, they don't feel right. I like wearing them out west where, like, when your feet are in the dust and stuff, it's just awesome. I gotta learn how to ride horses. I have a lot to do,
Can you
honestly.
picture Megan just gives up her car? You just
Horse and buggy.
get
Horse
ready
and buggy
to
at work.
tattoo today.
But it's just me, like, on my lap, like...
With 2 coconuts.
Yes, with coconut.
Somebody said, what was a good question here? I don't remember what it was. Who is your inspiration as a tattoo artist? I guess a better question would be, where do you draw inspiration from?
Well, when I started out tattooing, I was really, really, interested in realism only, actually. And I had to do a lot of other stuff because I had a traditional apprenticeship. But I looked up a lot to Mike DeVries and Nico Hurtado. And now I know so many great artists, and my horizons have been broadened. Who do I draw inspiration from now? It's different now, but, in the past few years, I think Victor Portugal, Robert Hernandez, because those guys ended up really influencing the guys that I knew more directly, which was Josh Duffy, Carl Grace, and of course Nico still influences me. He tattoos me. Whenever I get tattooed, I get influenced by that person. I hung out with Llewellyn and the painter out in LA, and I got really influenced by his style. He was heavily influenced by Michael Hustler. So Casey Bow, however you say it. I took one of his courses, and so some painters, not just tattooers. And then I get, I really got into like some styles that's not realism this year, and that's influenced me in the idea of being illustrative. And I don't know how it's going to show up in my work because I am a realist artist. I can't change that. It's the way my brain works. It's what I've studied my whole life. I mean, way before tattooing, I was studying how to draw and paint figuratively from life. So, but I I am influenced by and definitely inspired by people like Emily Rose Murray and Justin Hartman. Yep. I love that illustrative style that pulls in a little bit of realism here and there. And then Clean Rock One, you know, he definitely influenced me around just appreciating application and a tattoo, you know, just for being a solid thing that will look good over time and being creative, you know. He's not a big fan of realism because he doesn't think it's that cool when someone just copies stuff, but I see it differently. I think that when you're rendering a picture, you actually have to make a lot of decisions still to turn it into an image that will look good on a body. You have to figure out all the different colors that's creating that one color. But I do get, you know, I get his perspective, and it changed the way I looked at it a little bit.
I think you need to plug the phone in.
There's a charger. There's that thing right there. I have a longer charger, but that'll work for now. Tony unplugged it. So we're getting there with this drawing. I don't need to draw every little detail before I tattoo it. Just gonna need to make sure I've got things in the right place.
Brian, I don't know how to say his last name, said thank you. Very hard to find someone that can capture real life.
Yeah, you know, I think realism takes a long time. Oh shit. I think realism takes a long time to learn how to draw. So, you know, it's a pretty developed skill to have. I don't think it's better than other styles, but I do think that it's a tough one to actually nail.
Hang on with me, guys, for a second. I'm just going to put the phone in this mount here.
Did you get it?
I gotta get it cleaned up.
Okay. So I can't see your comments right now, guys, because nobody's holding the phone, so just watch me finish up this drawing, and then I'm going to pour my ink so that you guys can see how I do the black and gray mix. And then we're going to end the live feed for a while. I'll come back on tonight when the tattoo is almost done and you can see where it's got. This part, when I'm doing these sketchy lines, it's important not to, when you tattoo these, you really do have to follow your sketchy quick lines, because they will feel different if you do them too carefully. There's a crack around her face that really feels like glass. It's a very specific kind of crack. And it's important to nail that for the feeling in this piece. Again, without a reference, you know, you're not going to draw the crack of glass correctly unless you've drawn it a bunch of times before. So I just think, you know, there is a value, and even if you're freehanding, there's value in using a reference. of a flaky feel here.
Rick, National High Five Day. Rick, National High Five Day. I don't want it to be a real high five.
A lot of my stuff is experimental, stuff I've never done before, and I'm trying to see if I can get something to work. I like that because it keeps the artwork really fresh. Usually if I'm nervous about a piece or trying to figure out how to do it, it means it's going to come out pretty cool. So that's, you know, that's a situation here with making this person look like she's like kind of blowing up from the inside or crumbling, cracking, peeling off. The idea here is one of the 7 sins of wrath. It goes with the outside of his sleeve. Pretty much my drawing. I'm gonna back the camera up. I can put it super close. I think I'll turn it so that you guys can see the whole thing. There. Sorry guys, this phone holder thing is kind of annoying. Alright, so this, I just have to turn, and as one thing runs into another, I have to make sure that whatever I'm running up against this piece with, it complements. Yeah, so that can be light. That's our drawing for today. Oh yeah, that took a minute, but tattooing it goes so much faster than stenciling that I more than make up the time. Put some blood under her neck here. That's good. Alright, just stay like that. I'll show you guys the drawing, and then I'll show you how I kind of set up my ink, my black and gray drop system. Alright, cool. So that's ready to be tattooed now. Alright, so black and gray. Matthew, you can stand up and move around a little. No. When I do my drop system, let's see if I can set this up for you. So you can see there's my setup, my little station setup. I've got a FK Irons Spectra Edge. That's what I use. And then I draw with Sharpies. I don't use the typical rainbow pack colors. They seem to wash off faster. When I do my drop system, I start with like a really dark black. It can be a like a shading black, you know, triple black or something. And then I use Eternal ink. So, you know, I've got like their lining black. And then I do a drop system. Because Matthew's got like darker skin, I want to keep my contrast really high. So I purposely won't pour all of these different shades. I kind of just do a dark gray, a medium gray, and a light gray. And that forces me to keep my contrast high.
That's awesome, Max.
Meg, are you feeling that gap there? This forearm gap? You gonna do that next time?
On the back,
Yeah.
we are gonna fill that in, I think. He wants maybe some lettering. Okay, so I gotta, oh yeah, why don't you can show him both of the sleeves and how the drawing goes.
Okay. So.
He's got just words taped to his shirt, you guys.
I know.
I don't use any white highlights on you, do I?
It didn't stay.
Yeah. You know, he's pretty fair for a black dude. You're a black dude, right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure I get the race right.
Oh my
Well,
G.
you're not like Hispanic. You're
No,
like,
no, it's not.
you know, African American or something.
British and Irish.
British and Irish. Okay, yeah. So,
Whoa.
but yeah, I tried to put white highlights in just to see what would happen. And I guess they didn't hold. Are you sure there's none like in that piece down
Yeah,
there?
right in the eyes.
In the eye and the lips.
Actually, they did hold. I can see differences from over there. They're
What?
just
High
not,
five day!
it's never as bright, but they still make a big difference.
Are you done?
Happy National High Five Day, everyone.
That's good to know, actually. Can I see? Oh, hey. Can I see this one?
Don't film me.
Oh.
Can you call Todd?
Yeah.
Because
Lower
I
your
only have an hour left
Just like
and I'm not
here.
going to finish.
Yeah,
I need to
okay.
get that face in an hour. So
Oh, so Todd shouldn't come.
try
Can
to
you
find
just
him.
text him?
No. Try to find him a spot next week.
Hopefully he's watching this Facebook Live thing.
Do you have time to do those Jason maps
Today?
next week?
I don't. Probably not. I might be able to.
They're small.
I'm pretty booked.
You don't have to lie.
I'm not.
Why? Hey, you can't take back.
Sword. guy tattooed and then worry about it. Okay. Oh, is this off? It's still on. Okay. So, I'm gonna start tattooing now, and I think we're gonna just turn the live feed off, because it's like super long and boring to watch a whole tattoo. So tonight, when the tattoo's closer to done, then we'll turn it back on, and if any of you guys want to see how it came out, just hop back on and check it out. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something, or at least had a little bit of entertainment. Alright, cool. Later.